Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
Boy, it's been a while since we've done a show. I feel like I say that all the time. Listen, I'm just going to get it right out of the way. I am so tired right now.
We got delusional Kevin on the show.
We got delusional Kevin.
This might be an interesting one.
The camera went on. I could see it out of the corner of my eye. And this was the first time ever doing this show where I was like, I went all Ricky Bobby. Like, I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to do with my mouth right now. But I do know this is the voice of land. We're brought to you by Vector Technical. They'll get the right person in the right job the first time. I drive past their office all the time. It's on my side of town in Willoughby. They have signs out all the time. Doesn't matter what time of year it is. If you're looking for a new job, you're looking for that change, or you're looking for that change come the new year, that may be what you're looking at as one of your New Year's resolutions, reach out to Vector Technical.
I mean, they got a lot of good jobs out there on Twitter.
Yes,
I see all the time that
yes,
they're
they do. So reach out to them. More information on them to come throughout the show. We are, of course, a part of the Big Play Sports Network, Big Play family, and partner with LPV Productions. I am Kevin Arnold. He is Always Positive Jay. Peter Telep on the other side. We have the actual Peter Telep with us. You're not going to see him. I know we do this whole thing that he's an AI system, but because, he did have back surgery today and he's still doing the show tonight, got to shout him out. That's our shout out, our well wishes tonight. Peter is here. He's running the ones and twos, probably in pain because back pain is no joke.
If you're that's Peter.
you may hear that as the pain meds are wearing off.
Oh boy! All right. Well,
he's broken. According to Twitter, I'm not positive anymore. So
I started calling you Always Practical, Jay.
I know. I mean, God forbid you.
I may have changed.
You disagree with someone, but if you don't call them, I'm not calling people names, but whatever.
All right, yeah. So, Peter's broken. Your
someone else.
Your positivity is broken. And
is it the football weekend that just killed us all?
I think so.
It may have.
It
was rough.
We're gonna get into all of it.
And sports broke us,
and we're gonna start with the team that somehow is 7-4 through all. That's such a bad way to transition in, but there's been, there's broken bones. It feels like what should be broken morale. And yet this team continues to find ways to win. Yeah, it wasn't great on Sunday. That wasn't fun to watch at all, but it's one of those Twilight Zone places for the Browns, Jay. I don't know what it is. You go to Pittsburgh, you go to Denver. For the Browns, it's some sort of Twilight Zone where no matter how good the season might be going.
And that's for a lot of teams, but us specifically. Yeah, I hate that place. I can't stand.
Can we stop going down 14-0?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Instead of like I get it. You guys are kind of, you're trying to maybe try to become the new Cardiac Kids. Like there's never going to be the new Cardiac Kids. You got to find a different name because that is owned by the 80s teams. But at some point, you're not going to be able to come back. When you go down by 2 scores each time, especially on the road, you're not going to be able to come back.
And that's exactly what happened last weekend.
Exactly what happened. And now we might be on our 4th quarterback. What you said you didn't want to see, you might have to see on Sunday, Jay. How are you feeling right now that you might actually see I'm sure there's videos on Twitter for whoever beat reporters are out in LA right now with the team. They went from Denver to LA. I'm sure that there's been some brown and orange or the orange jerseys on Joe Flacco, but it won't really sink in until you see the actual Browns uniform on him. How are you feeling right now? That is a huge possibility you're going to see.
You're talking about the Twilight Zone. I feel like I'm still in it. Like, is Joe Flacco's my quarterback? Like, are you serious? Like, what happened here? Like, what is going on?
I don't know.
Hey, if dude comes out and does great, sweet, awesome. Go Joe Flacco. Like, and everyone's like, oh, he sucked with the Jets. Well, yeah, everyone's going to suck with the Jets. Like, Aaron Rodgers got hurt in his first 4 plays and was like hit in every first 4 plays. That team is terrible. And at least their offensive line is garbage.
They say Cleveland's where quarterbacks go to die, but I mean, you could say the same thing about the Jets.
There's too. Dude, the Jets, Chicago Bears. Like there's
Yeah,
a lot of teams.
Again, it's always made out to be just us, but
I
there
know.
are plenty of organizations that are in the same boat. And sometimes I think we even get blinded by how much crap we've gone through to see, oh, there are other organizations that do go through this. It doesn't make it any better, but it just sucks.
And they do that to a lot of stuff to us. Like I feel like that is different than other teams. Like remember when we won the last 2 games against
Yeah.
the Steelers and the Ravens, we get that's their Super Bowl. I'm like, dude, are we just not allowed to celebrate? Like, what are we supposed to be like? Yay, good win. On to the next one, and just be not happy about it. I mean,
No, we're
that's
not Bill
sports.
Belichick.
Yeah, I'm not the coach. I'm allowed to have fun.
Yeah, fans are allowed to have fun and
I don't know.
and look,
People
like,
are weird to Browns fans.
look, both teams are in a playoff race.
Hold on a second. I'm watching us on Facebook just to make sure
Yeah,
the audio's working and everything. And it auto captioned it as bored Belichick. I'm not bored Belichick.
I mean,
And that was too perfect.
yeah, because he
that's-
looks bored all the time.
He does. He
Yeah,
does.
That he might not be. I don't think he's lasting in New England. I think this might be it.
Do you think he's going to go somewhere else, or do you think he's just hanging it up?
I mean, with him, I just feel like
no, he's going to keep going.
I
He's
feel like he's
real
gonna keep
close to
going.
the all-time record for wins. Who is it that he's going to beat? Is it the
Don Shula.
Shula? Yeah,
Is it?
is it Shula?
I don't know.
think so.
We don't like to shoot from the hip, but I don't have a computer in front of me. Like we don't have
It's
enough
either
space
Shula
for all
or
that stuff.
Landry or one of those guys that he's got the all-time. Whoever's the all-time leader and wins, he wants.
If someone's
to be it.
watching right now or listening, and you can type into your device, let us
Google
know.
it for us.
Yeah. Please, I've been doing a lot of that today. I don't want to search anything anymore today. I've been digging deep in the archives.
Can I just
for
go off
stats.
topic real quick? Because
We always do, so it
we're
doesn't
doing
matter.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
Don Shula is the record
All right,
holder.
perfect. See, audio's still here.
So today you were talking about Google, and I was talking to Tiffany about Google, and I'm like, when I go to heaven, and I want heaven's version of Google, so I could like look up things that I was like, I wonder what happened here, and you could just like have a true historic like thing of everyone and everything, like what was the whole like real JFK thing, and what happened to Jimmy Hoffa, and you like get all these answers. I'm like, what would you call them? Like, it'd be Goddle.
God.
Goddle. And I was just like, man, no movie has done that yet, that idea.
Maybe pitch it.
I'm going to try. And I got nothing else to do.
Because
tonight.
Hollywood doesn't, even when they're not on strike, they don't come up with anything original. It's just,
Yeah, it's true. It's more original
Hey,
than anything I've heard
and-
out of Hollywood in a while.
I'm not here to say that I'm against it all the time, because I'd be a hypocrite if I did that, because I will watch every single Fast and Furious movie you give me. I will watch every Transformers movie you give me, whether it has a storyline or
yeah,
not.
who cares about plots and whatnot?
You can see how cultured I am in terms of movies, but guess what? When I watch a movie, for the most part, I don't want to think. I was in AP English, not because I'm a creative thinker and I read between the lines and I love to read and I love to think critically and creatively. No, it was for college credit, and I only scored a 1 in the AP test, so it didn't help me anyways.
So those Browns.
I don't want to do that.
They kind of look like, Transformers movie or Fast and Furious movie. Things just blowing up all over the freaking place.
Oh my God. Yeah, these injuries are just piling up, Kevin. I mean, how many more can we withstand and keep winning?
Well, and let's say Joe Flacco does start. I mean, it's
That's
gonna
why I
be,
need Goddle.
it's gonna be very
he can
tough.
answer these questions before they even happen. I need my
It's-
Goddle. Boom.
yeah,
All right, this is how the
sometimes
season's going.
the element of surprise is sometimes nice in human nature, but not always.
Yeah.
DTR, I have a hard time believing he's going to be able to clear concussion protocol. It's not that it hasn't happened. Boy, he got lit up on that play. And look, guys that try to come back within 1 week's time out of a concussion,
Doesn't really happen.
if you're young like DTR, like it can happen, but it's like, I don't know. I'm starting to think of things not just like as a parent, but also as a coach and all of the training that I had when I was coaching and how much more information we have about concussions now and what we don't know about them, especially with brain injuries. Like I would rather the guy come back. Like you cannot play this amount of weeks when you have a concussion. Like if you set that, and I thought that that's what was in place, but I guess not. The protocol is what it is. I'm not going to try to break it down for you here on the Voice of the Land.
We need your wife to come here and break it down for
Yes, she is with our son right now, who is, I think I got a picture. He's sleeping. He's teething, guys. The teeth have started.
Well, what's the secret for that? You pour a shot of rum or whiskey and you dip your finger in it, rub it around their gums, and then you do the shot of whiskey.
I mean, is that safe for a baby?
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing it for years. I heard the same thing.
That's not reassuring.
I heard the same thing.
I've never heard one
I
complain.
think I've
Did
actually
you do it?
I think I've
Let's
actually
say-
heard that before, but I don't know many people that have done it. But when you give me that kind of look that people can't see right now, I'm still in the I'm a parent for the first time phase. I haven't had the second kid yet to know, like if I don't
the
necessarily
do
have
and
to, like,
don'ts that you.
yeah, like I can get away with this, and they're still going to be okay because they're resilient.
They
Like,
are resilient.
I know that phase is coming, but my mind can't get past that.
Yeah, I don't know if the whiskey thing is actually. I've never done it. But
No,
I've heard
yeah.
that many times.
I have heard that, but I don't know if that's just
Just
like
get some. Don't they got like baby Oragel or something?
They do.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we have stuff, and we're doing that. But I mean, he didn't even sleep with the babysitters today. Usually he sleeps like 2-hour nap here, hour nap there, maybe 45 minutes here. He may have slept a total of an hour at the babysitters today, and he was there for 10 hours, not just 8 like he usually is. So,
You have to pay for a babysitter for 10 hours.
well, I didn't plan on it, but I
No, I know they're expensive, man. It's
those
crazy.
days at work where like,
That's what you thought as soon as he said. I looked at his eyes. I'm like, man, 10 hours? That's a bill.
Mm-hmm.
That is a bill.
well, I mean, we end up giving like the total for the week, like, but it's because
You may be tired,
'cause
but
it's
you
a-
might need to put some overtime in.
I did today.
More.
That's why he was there. Why I worked 12 hours and he was at the babysitters for 10. Overtime. So like 10 hours, like I made more money back than what I was paying, 2 more hours worth. So I, saved up a little bit there. I don't know. It's just one of those days.
It's a day.
It is.
It is a day for
It's-
sure.
It's been a season for the Browns. It feels like we've lived through maybe 2 seasons at this point. We still got 6 games left.
Oh, and every game is a nail biter from like start to end. Yeah, this
What's going to
season,
happen these last 6 games?
I think they can go either 3-3 or 4-2. To be honest, record wise, yeah.
Where do you think?
Just because
those-
I don't think a lot of the teams are all that tough. And if like the toughest team would have been the Bengals, but Joe Burrow's gone, they're not going to be very hard.
I think the toughest team right now is Houston.
Yeah,
Probably.
for sure. It definitely.
I mean,
is.
if Aaron Rodgers comes back, that
No, I don't care.
I don't think he's going to come back. Good.
Who's at
I mean, what are they?
practice today?
What are they?
That's kind of crazy.
They're 4
he's
and
in that
7.
21-day window now where he can be activated from the IR list. So he's at practice on a very, when they say limited, his limited is like even more, like even below that, I think.
Yeah, but they're what, 4 and 7. So unless they somehow win,
And he just told Pat McAfee the other
Yeah.
day, like, we have to be in it for me to come back.
yeah, they're
He only
gonna come
cares
back
if they're going to
not
be
in
able to
it.
win.
He only
something.
cares if he's on TV.
Yeah. So, and we're saying his name like he's kept himself relevant this season, even though he's got an injury that most people take a year to come back from. I know Cam Akers
All I know is when I injured
was able to
mine,
come back.
I couldn't play. It took him and his wife to stop me from trying to pinch hit in the playoffs. I was trying to pull. Well, actually, Aaron Rodgers was trying to pull an APJ because I definitely wanted to. As soon as I got my boot off, it was like 2 weeks later. I'm like, can I just go? I need a bat. I can't let this dude who does never bat before bat. I'm like, I need a bat. And they're like, no. I'm like, I could do it. I could be fine. I'll just walk to first. I don't need to get. I just need to hit it way to the outfield. And yeah, they wouldn't let me.
And again, the Achilles injury. I mean, if you want to put yourself in that kind of position, he's trying, and by them doing
I
that
think he's
today,
nuts.
he's actually on track for what he wanted to do. He wanted to come back by Christmas Eve, but for their Christmas Eve game. But if they're not in it, is he actually going to play? Because again, he told Pat McAfee yesterday that, look, I don't know if I'm going to be able to come back and play. Like he's trying to walk it back. Either he's doing that because
It's like he's trying to say that he's coming back, but then walk it back in the same interview, just so we're doing what we're doing.
Well, and he's either giving you all you want right now that
regardless,
I don't think this team
I think
is
we
gonna go
destroy
anywhere.
I think we're going to beat the Jets.
Jets, like that's a game that you should win. If it's Tim Boyle that's playing quarterback, I mean, we need to. It doesn't matter if Miles is in there or not. You need to be lighting that guy up. This week, I know it's another team kind of like the Broncos, and you're on the road. The only difference is, are there truly LA Rams fans? Like I know that there were St. Louis Rams fans.
Yeah,
and that indoor facility would
there's going to be a bunch of Browns fans.
There's going to be a bunch of Browns fans because like you hear opposing teams fans, whether it's the Chargers and the Rams in SoFi Stadium, more than you hear their fans.
Like
then it's
I
just the
literally, I
stars
know
that get their
people like this is nuts.
front
I
row
know
seats.
people at Sunday, they flew out to Denver to
Mhm.
go to that game. They stayed a few days in Denver. Then they flew out to LA, and now they're going to the game in LA. I'm like, man, you guys got it good. I wish I
Do they
could do
work?
it. Yeah, it's just their vacation.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they timed it up well.
Yeah.
I mean, I always question how I see the same 5 people in the front row of WWE events. Every time I'm watching on TV, right along the barricade, it's the same people. Like, do you work? Like, how are you traveling all around
They
the
don't
country?
work. They don't work,
They're
Evan.
they're
They're very rich, and they don't work anymore.
Yeah. I mean, and they're probably those streamers and stuff like that, like digital content type creators. We did a great job talking Browns this segment, guys.
No, we didn't.
No, I mean, it's so hard to talk about because it's like we're in a great position at 7-4 through 11 games, and yet I don't know. It's so hard to. I said at the beginning of the season, this team had to prove it to me. Well, they're doing a lot to overcome adversity to prove things to me. And yet I'm still having a hard time crossing that line to be like really excited, but just because like we
It's
always
a
waited for
realistic
that.
expectations is what's happened to you because you feel like this team is, if we're being real, this team is on the brink of just falling apart because it literally is falling apart. Like there's just
Yeah.
injuries. That's just hard for any team, the greatest teams, to overcome. We're still doing it, which is nice, but it's like, how long is this going to last? And I feel like you probably agree with me is we're both so proud of what they're doing. Like they're proving that they are a real team. This is a real team. And if they could keep overcoming this is going to, like I said before, it's going to be stuff. I think,
Galvanized.
yeah, it's going to be stuff they fall back on
Yeah.
in later seasons. Like it's this season, it'll be more for the future seasons than we're realizing right now.
Yeah. And I think we'll see it if we see a culture maybe established, Stefanski's around and major part of this coaching staff's around for a while. They get extensions and stuff. Like we'll be able to be like hindsight's always 2020. Like how much.
What did you
this
think of his
impact.
play calling last week?
Not
Because
great.
I got people like were really like saying I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to football because they're loading the box and you can't run. So why would you call pass plays? I'm like, well, the pass plays weren't working against a run defense apparently at first. So why don't you call run play and just say you're going to stop this? No, you're not. We're going to do it anyways. That's what I'm about.
Again, that's why like I can't be 100%. But I'm not saying I'm not like behind Kevin Stefanski, but I'm not like 100%. He needs a contract extension. It's because even with all the adversity and how much great stuff he has done this year to keep this team going and in a position to contend for the playoffs and more this season, he still has those moments where we're overthinking it or thinking that we're smarter than everybody else and trying to do too much instead of keeping it simple. KISS, the KISS method. That's what my physics teacher always told us. Keep it simple, stupid.
I heard you on the radio earlier, and they were talking about grading Stefanski. How I grade Stefanski is Stefanski, there's the coach, and there's Stefanski, the play caller. Stefanski, the coach, 95 out of 100. Fantastic job this year. Like, can't say enough. Stefanski, the play caller, I'm still giving you like a 70, and that's being 75. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm being nice. Like, hey, I probably want to go D because you call a lot of bad plays
Like the
at the ball.
reverse.
Dude, that was
Oh,
terrible.
my
You
God.
just put a guy in who hasn't played all game. Hey, I got an idea. Let's do a double reverse. When
This'll
I got
catch
to
'em
run,
off.
here's what drives me nuts. Here's what drives
We're gonna
I-
catch the opponents off guard. Oh
We
crap!
caught ourselves off
I
guard.
caught my own team off guard. What did I just do?
Here's what drives me nuts. All right, we're an analytically driven team, correct? So it's all about math.
Mhm.
All right. So if you're playing the worst run defense and you are one of the best run offense, the math tells you run the ball. If your running back is averaging over 7 yards a gain, if you give it to him twice, you're going to get a first down. The math tells you that. It's their math is not adding up. It's not making sense to me. What are they doing? It's driving me insane. And all right, so it's a football call they're making,
Yeah.
Kevin. So you're telling me you're going to put a rookie quarterback in a position to have to win, like start this game off, get it going, passing the ball in a hostile environment when you have a running back that could gash this team for runs. It doesn't make any sense to me. And please don't tell me that there's 9 in the or 8 in the box, because Adrian Peterson ran against that his whole career. Like he never had a quarterback, and he did pretty damn good. Sorry, had to get that off my chest.
I mean,
forgot all about that rant. I've been holding it and then released.
for a team that's supposed to be, I don't want to say like only driven by analytics, but they're trying to use analytics, use the information, what they talk about to fuel decisions. There's times where it feels like the analytics and the football decisions are like two magnets when you're trying to put them together, and the same, the poles can't get them to touch, that type of thing. They're going away from each other. They want to go away from each other because they can't coexist. And I like, that's not what you want, but for the most part, they've kept most of it together, being 7-4. We're Cleveland fans. We're always waiting for that next shoe to drop. I'm wondering how many shoes are going to drop this year and how many are just going to come out of nowhere.
Drop. Someone's dropped like 5 or 6, and I just feel like I'm like holding all these shoes in my arm. Like,
in honor of the return of Randy Orton to WWE television this week, I feel like I've been RKO'd out of nowhere many, many times this season. And boy, did the Buckeyes
I was going to say,
RKO
you know what
us.
the worst part about that game was? Not even the game. It was the damn Fox commercials that were just constantly playing Michigan commercials. I'm like, oh, these guys.
We got to talk Buckeyes next. This is the voice of the land on the Big Play Network.
Whether you're looking to hire new talent or start a new career, Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that has helped thousands of job seekers advance in their career with reputable partners throughout Northeastern Ohio. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. With an above-average hire-in rate of 1 in 4 candidates, Vector works hard to connect the right person with the right opportunity the first time. Vector Technical hires for skilled manufacturing and light industrial work and is sure to have a career that you've been looking for. To learn more, visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com.
Oh no. Boy, oh boy. What a crappy weekend we had. I had great food, great time with family. I hope you and Tiffany had good time, good family, good food. Peter, same thing for you and the family.
Definitely.
Happy belated Thanksgiving to everybody out there on behalf of the Voice of the Land. But the one staple of Thanksgiving weekend for sports fans has become the rivalry, the game. In the last 3 years.
Not according to Mad Dog. Oh my God. We'll go back to that. We'll come back to that. You just ball that back up, Kevin.
Reel that back in. It hasn't been the game for Ohio State the last 3 years. And
for Ohio State, it's still been the game.
Yeah, it's still been the game. And I think this year was more of a example of the game that you would show instead of the ass whoopings that the Buckeyes have taken the previous 2 seasons. And look, I know that that is a good team. That team up north has a really good team and a good program. A lot of these schools now have fifth and sixth year guys with COVID years. Blake Corum's a good player. They finally found a quarterback in JJ McCarthy. I'm not taking anything away from them. And going into that environment is very difficult to play in. Like, that is what a rivalry is supposed to be. You're supposed to not just feel the crowd, almost in a way fear the crowd. That hasn't affected Ohio State teams in the past because they have made the game the thing that they build towards every single year. A countdown is in the facility to count down to the game.
I don't know if Ryan Day does this, but I know all the past coaches after practice, they had a small little section of practice that they practice all year round. And that practice was dedicated to Michigan, that part of it.
And they say that, well, at least Ryan Day says that they do that. But when you have a quarterback saying it's just another game, like it's that next game, like what the Browns have been talking about. But we hear Stefanski say that, and the players are saying the same thing. And then they go out there and they've made that game the most important thing. Yes, I know they lost to Denver and they've lost 4 times this year. No, it's very rare you're going to see a team in the NFL win every single game. But they keep that mindset, and that's why they don't let themselves dwell on a loss in the past, and why Kevin Stefanski's record, a game after a loss, is so good in his tenure as the Browns head coach. In Ryan Day's tenure as the Ohio State Buckeyes head coach, he is 1-6 in what is considered big games, the game and college football playoff games. 1-6, and that one came in the first year that he took over from Urban Meyer in the game. So he has not won a college football playoff game. I could argue they should have won last year. There should have at least been a targeting call on Marvin Harrison Jr. in the back of the end zone. Whatever. That's
Still
old news. Still lost. Lost to Georgia, the eventual national champion. Buckeyes lost the game last year. They lost it at home. They were able to get in with crazy stuff to happen on championship weekend. JD, are you rooting for that to happen this year? Do they even deserve that kind of opportunity again, that gift again?
I don't know, honestly. Like,
because
there's a lot of one-loss teams out there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of teams I think we're just close with. And I could argue probably 4 other teams that deserve that last spot. So I don't want to say we don't, and I don't want to say we do. It's it's a horrible sports take, but you get my point.
Right. I understand. I
could listen to someone's argument saying they should be still in, and I could also definitely listen to the argument saying that they shouldn't. What I know is I'm not even calling him Ryan Day anymore. He's just Ryan Cooper to me now. And my message to you is don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you, dude, because I'm done. You cannot lose to Michigan that like just every single time. I'm fine even if you won one, lost one, won one, or lost one, won one. Like, no, 3 in a row, you got to go. That's strike 3, bro. See ya.
It's what have you done for me lately? We're in that kind of culture now. And it's you're getting 5-star recruits all over the place. You have to win sometimes. Peter, where are you at with Ryan Day?
I don't know. I'm just, obviously I'm disappointed. The 3 losses to that team up north in a row, it's hard to swallow. But who are they going to replace them with?
I mean, they're the Ohio State. They'll get whoever the hell they really want.
Pay for.
Well,
look at our last 3 hires. I mean, like after Cooper, everyone's like, who are you going to get? We got Tressel. And after you fire Tressel, who are you going to get? We had an intern for a year, and then we went and got Urban Meyer. Like, we're Ohio State with our recruits.
Oh, no, I know. I'm just saying
you get Rabel, maybe. You could possibly just say Heartline, upgrade Heartline. To
Rabel would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That would be interesting. The thing is, he's done a decent job overall, I think. But the Michigan stuff, I think you're right. It's one of those things where that game is so important to the alumni, to the donors, to the fan base that
Woody Hayes is just rolling over in his grave right now, driving
Well, someone
We wouldn't have any of that.
Well, I think it was Double A. Anthony Alford posted on Facebook. He's like, "Is this what it was like with the John Cooper era?" And I'm like, "Well, no, we have more losses with the John Cooper era.
We
because
put up with him a
we-
long time.
we weren't going into the Michigan game undefeated in most
Yeah.
of those years. So
Yeah.
I think all of those years.
Yeah, 'cause he's lost the 1 year. I think it was what Joe Germain, David Boston, and then we were looking so unbelievable, and then we lost to Michigan State out of nowhere.
But the thing is, though, if you look at the team, I mean, I think we really should have won that game. There were, I don't think Kyle McCord is. I don't think either of the quarterbacks really showed.
Devin
that
Brown doesn't look like he can
much.
throw a football.
No, he doesn't.
Like, and I know people are saying like, oh, well, he got hurt, he never got a chance. He probably didn't get his chance to take over from Kyle McCord and like show his athleticism. Great, he's a running quarterback. I almost flipped out, and I know that they were always going to win, and they beat Purdue, but they were bringing Devin Brown in for those goal line situations, just like we bring in Harrison Bryant for 4th and 1s. Now we're fumbling the football, but again, staying on the Buckeyes.
Also,
Devin Brown,
dumb by
right? Yes, Devin Brown was that goal to go scenario. Well, he was pretty loose with the football down by the goal line and lost one of those fumbles. And I was like, why do we keep going to this? Stop. But I've seen Devin Brown play. And again, maybe more of an opportunity. Maybe we would see more. I don't see how he throws a football. Like, I don't. I can see, like, Kyle McCord is a pocket passer. I can see that. But these are our best options at Ohio State. I mean, you have your wide receiver, and I know Marvin Harrison Jr. is gone, and I'm probably Emeka Ibuka as well. But the next line's coming in. Dale's son is coming in. Not saying he's going to take over as a freshman, but there's going
to take over as freshman.
He
but
can.
I just personally root for him.
But there's going to be talent that just keeps coming through, and that's great that Ryan Day can get those. Now, my argument is that he needs to go. I'm not trying to take shots at the guy personally or anything like that. And again, I'm not rooting for someone to lose their job. We've had that conversation on this show before. I'm not banging the table and trying to run him out of town. My opinion is he's got to go. The devil's advocate to me would tell me, well, look what Patience did for that team up north with Jim Harbaugh. They held on to him even through all those losses against Ohio State and Urban Meyer. And now he has taken the reins over as he faces off against Ryan Day. Okay, I can listen to that. If they decide to do that, they decide to do that. The new AD decides to do that, they do that. Other people have said that, well, that team up north is really, really good. Like they're undefeated. They're going back to the college football playoff, another Big Ten championship. That's a really strong blue blood program now that is like, it's hard to beat. You lost to them by 6 on the road. Okay, but it's 3 in a row. That's the problem. This game has now made it 3 in a row. If we had gone back and forth the last couple of years,
Fine.
or still kind of in control and they got this one and we lost by 6, and I can see how good this team was, boy, I hate losing to them. I'm not going to admit that I wouldn't be upset, but it wouldn't be lasting as long as it is right now. Because now we have that count up of days, the amount of days it's been since we beat them.
I mean, dude, how do you lose to them last year when you have CJ Stroud, who's destroying the NFL right now? Who else was on that team? You still had Marvin Harrison. God forbid, Ibuka, all these guys. Yeah. We had all these players, and we lose to them. It's like, dude, why?
Yeah, and again, people are trying to tell me today as I'm having these conversations around the office and all that stuff, but they had more of the talent. They had a better offensive line. They had this. They had the better team.
Oh, they had what? Our left tackle or our right tackle. The dude is NFL guys can't get through him.
Big Thanos. Yeah, I
and the other
know.
guy was drafted in the first round by the Bears.
I think so. Yeah. No.
Whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He was early first round left tackle. So you got 2 NFL tackles.
Yep.
You have Marvin Harrison Jr., who's an absolute monster. You got Ibuka over there. You had Cade Stover. You had running backs out the yin yang and down there. I mean, you're Ohio State. You should have a running back. Yet, we didn't have our defense together last year. That was our excuse.
The people are making this argument to me. They're looking at just this year and that team. Like, great. I know that they have a really good team this year. I get that.
I don't care.
It's 3 in a row. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Kevin.
And I'm not.
At least you don't have a bunch of relatives that live there and are fans of it.
I do. I'm not as close with them as you are with yours.
Oh, so. God. I just go, phone off, into the couch. See you later. I can't deal with these people.
It just, again, yeah, I should be more patient, and I'm not usually this type of person. That's why you know that this feeling is real. I can't stand losing to them that many times in a row, and now I don't have confidence that a Ryan Day coach team can beat them anywhere. And you know why that is? Because you don't have a great quarterback right now, but you also have a lot of players that aren't making it a big deal. It is a big deal. I don't care what Chris Mad Dog Russo says. Red Sox Yankees is not a bigger rivalry. And I know my wife's going to yell at me when I get home for saying that. It might be on the same level for the level of sport that they're at. The Red Sox Yankees rivalry of baseball, that is Ohio State team up north in college football. Red Sox Yankees is on national television for the 4-game series. It's on 3 different networks. It's everywhere. Of course, Mad Dog Russo is going to say that. Do you hear his accent? I don't give a damn about the Red Sox fans and the Yankees fans. They get to pay for crap. They've had World Series in Boston. Yankees get to pay for everything.
What was the other college football? What was the other football college you said? Like Oklahoma, Texas, or something. It was bigger than Ohio State, Michigan. I was like, whoa. Whoa. I can understand even him saying Duke, North Carolina. I'm like, all right, I'll hear that out. But again, they play how many times? Like 3 or 4 times a year?
Twice a year, and most of the time they're facing off against each other in the ACC tournament as well. Whether it's the final or the semifinals, they're finding a way to face off against each other.
In my opinion, makes it even better than the Red Sox Yankees. This is just,
and I'm not saying Ohio State.
Here's what drives me nuts. New York is so huge. So many people, and yet Ohio State, Michigan is still the better rivalry. Because our alumni will trump their citizenship.
I'm not here to put bias out there and say that is the best rivalry in all of sports. I don't know what my rankings would be. When Mad Dog Russo did that on First Take today, he put those rankings out there. Now he's just trolling because he knows that people got the clip. They know that people are talking about him. He knows people like us are talking about him, and he wanted to make more. He wanted to get under your skin more. That's what the good people in the industry do. But the way they go about it, that's why we want to be different. So when I get all worked up like this, I don't do that all the time. I'm not doing this so that people click on us and like us. I care if we get viewership, and I want this show to grow, but I want it to grow the right way because of who we are, who all 3 of us are, and what we have done for the show, not because I'm trying to get some sort of clickbait. So Chris Mad Dog Russo has done what he's done, and he's done it the right way because I'm talking about it. I just want this rivalry that matters a lot to a lot of people around the country, whether you're a fan of that team up north or a fan of Ohio State or a fan of great sports rivalries in general. I want it to matter at Ohio State because what I hear from the coach is not what the players are showing on the field and what I actually see when that game happens. So if he does stick around, it's win or go to the unemployment line next season.
Facts.
That's what that game is going to mean.
Because, I mean,
and I don't care how good the defense is for 11 games. You're not making the plays you need to in the game. That's a problem. So none of that is all going to matter. Just like the Cavs that we're going to talk about next. People can't get into the regular season because they lost in the playoffs, gentlemen's sweep, and all that's going to matter is how they perform in the playoffs as long as they get there. It's not going to matter to me that much what they do in the regular season up until that game, because I know Ohio State can go out there and beat a lot of the teams that are going to be on their schedule. It's going to be tougher with some of the Pac-12 teams now becoming Big Ten schools. But I know Ohio State is going to be in contention for the Big Ten championship again once it comes down to that game. What happens in that game, if Ryan Day is around, will
You
determine
know
his
what really
job status.
sucks? That was the last time that game was going to be like ultra meaningful too. Because with the new playoff system next year, even if we like they go into that like
That's what I'm
undefeated,
saying.
it's not really going to matter if one loses.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. If Ryan Day is still around next year, it's more about his job than it is anything else, because Ohio State's going to is going to have a much better chance to make the playoff with more spots available. A team that is trying to make the playoffs and play a little bit better, 6-2 in their last 8 games. That is your Cleveland Cavaliers. We'll talk basketball on the other side. This is the Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network.
Are you struggling to hire the right talent or maybe even find the right career? Vector Technical makes it easy. Since 1992, Vector has provided Ohio employers with a reliable process for hiring and have helped thousands of job seekers advance in their careers. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. We invest time to get to know each client and candidate personally. Vector places people in job opportunities that they are truly excited about. Interested in learning more? Visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com to see a full list of our current job opportunities and to find out what Vector Technical can offer you.
Get your gear at voiceoftheland.com/shop.
All right. I think I've calmed down enough, especially knowing
goose
that.
sauce, some goose fraba going on or something.
What do you got?
What is it? It's Woosah and Bad Boys 2 when the guy like
Oh,
rubs his
yeah,
ears.
yeah.
Woosah.
Listen, I'm
then
like,
it's the
I'm like
Adam
running
Sandler
like-
movie with anger management. It's
Oh.
goose fraba.
yeah, I'm running like 10% of my tank right now. So the energy I'm bringing,
We need like at least 3% left just to get you home.
yes.
So we'll save some for you.
Okay. All right. Well, I think this segment may help save some because
It might even give you some more.
It might. Cavs 6-2 in their last 8 games. Yes, they're not moving on in the in-season tournament. I'm not saying that the in-season tournament doesn't matter because the energy I saw in that building last night and the care that the players are putting into this, like I think they're on the right track. For the first year,
Mhm.
we'll see how the quarterfinals and semifinals go and how much.
I mean, the only thing I need a real improvement on is 1, make it just more clear what the hell's going on. 2, get those courts the hell out of here, dude.
the Cavs core was actually good though.
But most of them are just trash.
You guys
dude.
got to admit, like that was done right. The Cavs court was done instead of being like all like red and stuff, like a red carpet. Because
Oh, I wouldn't know because I can't watch, but
I mean, you see pictures,
Me either.
yeah,
I can't watch
I
either.
mean, you see clips on.
yeah, I
Twitter,
know.
right?
I know.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Theirs wasn't that bad. There's a couple that
The
weren't
Pacers,
bad, but for the most,
the
the
first
Pacers,
game that
my eye. That was the one I was on. It was on TNT, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to see that, unfortunately, and it was like pure eye torture. So
like
What about the Lakers? What do you think about the Lakers court? 'Cause I saw clips of it and I thought it was horrible.
probably
I
horrible.
think they could have like inverted those colors.
Yeah,
maybe.
because wasn't it more purple or
I
whatever?
think it was.
yeah, it was just so garish that it was. Oh man,
Yeah, it was a lot of them. Even like if you just saw it for a second on SportsCenter in a highlight, they were like very difficult to look at.
the 76ers wasn't
It wasn't too
too
bad.
but
Again, the Cavs was clean with that two-tone look, but it wasn't like you put one of their colors and like put the most vibrant version of it out there on the floor, and then you're trying to offset it with this light color going down the middle so you can see the NBA Cup outlook in the key. Like
It's like watching basketball in Boise State's field. It's just kind of annoying.
But you know
Just-
what? Here's the thing: is who cares about? I mean, the courts. I mean, why even bother? Is it really that big of a deal? To
I think
mean,
that they're trying to letting people know that when they're watching, like you're watching an in tournament game. in case they
yeah,
don't know.
and I,
Well,
But just say
until
it.
people
I
become
guess.
accustomed to that.
I mean, you could just make the center court like the tournament. You're
Yeah.
gonna put the trophy there in the center court.
I-
that would
fine.
be better because, like you said, some of those they're just so garish. It's like,
but
Can't stand watching.
they
them.
are so bad that you're going to remember them, and you're going to remember the time of the year that you watched them. So now next year you're going to realize,
They
hey,
just-
like we're in November, and like
Well, and I
you
guess
know,
we're
the
talking
crappy
about
courts
it.
are
So
out.
they got us talking about it. So now we're gonna, the conversation then builds, and it kind of sticks in your brain. Okay, this is November. I'm seeing kind of a different style court than I'm used to. Even like the two different styles we have rolling with. Oh, in season tournament. All right,
Yeah.
like now, like what do we got to do? We got to, do we have to go 4-0 in our group? Do we have to, have a couple blowouts?
Here's things that I want to like. Do you guys like that they have the point differential? Because I heard Garland doesn't like it because he kind of takes away. Like he's like, I'm up like 20 points. I don't want to go shoot a 3 on someone.
So they were up 23 last night, and he looks back at the bench like he's dribbling, like he's just going to dribble out the game.
And they're probably
the-
yelling him to shoot it.
The Hawks have backed off, and he's at almost at center court line, and he's dribbling, just taking a couple steps forward and looking back, and they tell him shoot it, so he like steps into a 3. Now he front rims it because he didn't put all of his effort into it.
That
it
and
was
he's
like a
probably double
half-assed-
thinking about just doing it, like he said. So
Yeah,
if you're
because
not fully convicted of what you're going to do, you're probably not going to do it right.
but teams can't get upset because a lot of teams were in that situation, and that's kind of the strategy. Like if the Hawks were in that strategy, that's what they would have had to do.
Mhm.
Cavs have had assistant coaches with iPads watching all the other games, or at least the running scoreboard of all the other games. What do we need to do? What point total, what point differential do we need to get to? I think that the tiebreakers can be adjusted a little bit, but against the first year. So
Yeah.
NBA tends to make changes more so for the good than the bad. The NFL just kind of puts a lot of stuff in the gray area. Baseball finally, I'll give Rob Manfred credit, finally made a good rule change this year with the clock, the pitch clock. I think games flowed a little bit better, and I don't feel like it took away from the experience at all. But a lot of times, like, I think the NBA does more rule changes for the good than most other sports organizations in
This is pretty
professional
good.
sports. So I have a feeling in the offseason, Adam Silver and the owners and Players Association, they're all going to get together. Okay, what do we think of the in-season tournament? I know a lot of people talked about the point differential. Adam Silver will
That's what I
actually
said.
listen,
They're going to talk about what they like and don't like.
and it's a
kinda what we're doing
player-driven
right
league.
now.
So the players will get what
Yeah.
they want. If players have ideas, they'll get kind of what they want. But for right now, I think the in-season tournament has been a success.
Here's a thing I like about it that you won't see so much on the court is I think it's going to build a much better camaraderie on the teams
Mhm.
amongst each other, because you're playing for the 15th guy on the bench who's not
Yep.
making a whole, like, it's going to double his salary, and he knows you're out there busting your ass for him. That means a lot to a team, and I think the teams that embrace that, it's going to help them a lot with their culture of their team.
And the biggest thing that I think, while the Cavs aren't moving on, they're not going to play, in like more brighter light situations. The brightest lights that this in-season tournament got was they're at home. They have to put it to the other team. They have to win by at least 21 points to give themselves a chance. That's what their goals were coming in. They won by 23. So the lights weren't too bright. And Donovan Mitchell said after the game, like, yeah, we would love to be moving on. We're going to go after it again next year. But we just got like experience in a playoff like atmosphere and moment and situation, like those situational type things. This team just built that early in November. We'll see how that translates moving forward, because again, there's nights where this team just looks like they're not interested. They feel like they're going to make the playoffs, so they're going to try to flip that switch again. I want to see what this does to this team, knowing they have to come out, and even if they go down early, make all the adjustments. They're going to have to go out and stack as many wins together as possible. I wonder how that's going to help. We'll see how impactful the in-season tournament experience is for a team looking to build playoff experience and playoff success this year. I know they didn't start out well. I'm not going to blame it all on the injuries, because there was a lot of turnovers, Evan Mobley not playing well, and still stuff that you don't want to see, bad habits going out there on the floor. But they're 6-2 in their last 8 games, and in a lot of those games, they've had their core back. Donovan Mitchell's come back, Karis LeVert's come back, Isaac Okoro has come back. He was a big spark off the bench to start the year when he wasn't coming off. Now Max Strus has starting to find his niche with the team, and they're looking like they're having fun and doing that and seeing the team that they truly are instead of the one that was like, well, JB's got to try to piece it together again. That's harder to do in the NBA when you got 82 games. You got to do it multiple times in just 1 week instead of just for one game like Coach Stefanski does with the Browns. So everybody that was trying to fire JB right off the bat.
Well, like we said, like you could relax because it was early in the season. And
everybody says the opening day of basketball is truly what?
I don't know. What do they say?
Peter, do you know?
Say that one more time.
The
Doped up over there.
Doped up over here.
The day of the NBA season that most people consider the actual opening day.
Oh, Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. Yeah.
I misunderstood your question. I was
Sorry.
like, I thought you said, what do they
Trust me, I feel like
what do they
I'm
call the
dumped
opening
over.
day? I was like, I don't
And I
know
don't
what
even-
they call opening day.
I've
Opening
never
day.
done any of that stuff. I know it's becoming legal in this place, but I've never done any of that kind of stuff. And so I'm probably completely off, but I feel like
It's not legal yet, right?
No.
Isn't it,
I think it's December 7th. It becomes
something like that. I don't know.
like handshake type, like, you know,
Official.
I don't know.
Whatever.
not like official. I feel like it fully takes over in 2024, but people like it's going to be people are
No,
going
I
to
think
relax
people
on.
can grow it and stuff like that. and
Yeah,
they can-
people are going to relax on actually like cracking down on it starting December 7th. That's the date I've kind of heard where
30 days after the election or whatever, probably.
yeah, something like that. So,
Sure.
but hey, doesn't matter if you do
I
that
mean,
or not.
you're
as long as
Browns
safe
fan. You
and you're
might
fun.
need it. So
Yeah. Something. You need something being an Ohio sports fan, especially after last
sure.
week. I saw Matt Gould from Cleveland.com say, he tweeted it out saying, sports in Ohio peaked on Friday night, and it was all downhill from there with the
That's
state
fun.
semifinals
Oh my
in
god.
high school football. We actually got a couple of CBC teams in the state
Yep.
state finals. Kirtland Hornets, Perry Pirates. Good luck to those schools. Glenville Tarbletters looking for their second straight state titles. St. Ed's, another one. I know Massillon and Hoban in Division II. Boy, oh boy, to be a person to have a seat in that stadium in Canton for Massillon, who hasn't won a state title since 1974, and I don't know if it's like gone in the record books as like a state title. I don't know if it's
See,
like considered something else.
I don't think I've ever been to a big high school football game in my entire
There are
life.
some big.
Now, is
matchups
it
this
like
weekend.
when you see on like movies and stuff, and is the
Oh,
crowd
yeah.
just insane?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I need to go to one
yeah.
of these games one of these days.
What? So oddly enough, Dover last year when I was on the sideline for work for Dover versus Canfield, two like powerhouses. I think two different divisions, but two powerhouses in high school football that like smaller town powerhouses that people don't get to see a lot. But boy, that stadium was old school. The band was in this kind of like it had like a cover over it, so like the sound would project out. Felt like a Division III type college thing. Not a single seat to be had. People lined all along the fences. Crowd goes nuts on either side. Goosebumps. And I'm talking literal goosebumps from the atmosphere, the energy. It
Nice.
was in that stadium. There was a couple other ones last year as well. I didn't get a chance to get out to high school football games this year. But yes,
Yeah.
the stuff you see on TV, like I know there's a lot of Hollywoodized stuff. High school football, like Texas, Ohio, the better places, that's truly
Perry
What's that?
Kirtland this year was very similar. I mean,
oh
the,
yeah.
the Perry fans were out there tailgating prior to the game.
It is
It's
insane.
hilarious.
Yep.
What's
I
insane
mean, it
is
gets you pumped, right?
it gets you pumped.
So, what do you want to talk about next segment, Kevin?
We'll find out. What's insane is always our last segment because we never know what we're going to talk about. Maybe even until the time the cameras come back on, but we'll talk about whatever it is on the other side. This is the Voiceland on the Big Play Network.
Are you looking for a career in manufacturing? Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that is partnered with some of the biggest and the best companies throughout northeastern Ohio. The recruiters at Vector Technical will coach you through the entire job process and will help you land an opportunity that you are truly excited about. Vector does not add any additional fees and offers benefits as well as free online skills training through Penn Foster. To learn more, visit www.vectortechnicalinc.com and make sure to check out our job board to see a full list of our current opportunities and apply.
Welcome back to what, oddly enough, I had a weird premonition coming. I guess premonition is a negative word, but
No.
had a weird sense, a good sense that this is going to be a really good show. And I feel like it has really flowed. And yes, it always goes by
premonition's
fast.
not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing.
I don't know. Maybe it's foreshadowing, isn't it?
No, foreshadowing is
it's-
definitely not
no,
a
it's
bad
not a bad
thing.
thing
Yeah, I
either.
think foreshadowing is more of a negative connotation.
No,
No,
it's not. It's just
they're both good.
hinting towards
Now
the
we know.
future
Well,
is
now
all
we
it
know
is.
why he got a 1 on his AP English.
Yeah. I'm not even that good, and I know it is. So, but just agree with us and nod your head. And
Well, you know what? You know what does bring positivity, though, Jay?
me? No, not according to Twitter.
Not according to Twitter. Who gives a crap about
Oh, I know.
Twitter?
That's why I like making fun of it.
But those songs that get you, like, they just come on the radio or when you're listening to
Song
your
it gets the people going.
yeah, like it just gets you pumped up. And I was driving, and I know you don't necessarily like this song, but like Iron Man came on, and like we're big Marvel people here, so it was
Again,
more. It was.
I
more,
like the song. It's
Just
every kid that wanted to learn the
tries to-
guitar ruined it for me. So every time I hear him, it's like,
that makes sense. That
yeah.
that absolutely makes sense because I have those.
But like if I'm watching Iron Man and like at the end, I'm like, yeah, I like the song.
Right.
It's-
so like we're big Marvel people. We talk about Iron Man a lot.
so
We say
Iron
we love
Man's
you
your
all.
move song. It just gets you all.
Well, it was getting me pumped up, and I started thinking like, man, like earlier today I played Immigrants. I played the Immigrant song by Led Zeppelin.
That's one of mine.
That's
a good
one of
Like
mine.
if
that
I
gets
was
me
a
going.
baseball player, that'd be my walk-up song for sure.
So that's actually a good way to phrase it. What would be your walk-up song that would kind of get you? Whether it was, we're saying walk-up song, and we know that that's for baseball, but like, what's that song that gets you going in any competitive nature that you're just ready to go, ready to run through a wall?
Yeah, Peter, what's your song?
For something like that, I go to kind of like AC/DC, and so I love Thunderstruck or Back in Black. Just the Back in Black, that just that riff, it's like
Dun,
yeah,
Dun,
it's
and then you almost see Angus or the guy doing the guitar thing
Yep.
across the board. Yeah, anything AC/DC will get you stoked up. That's just
I mean, there's so many
Just
good
what they
ones though. I
do.
mean, like Kevin's an Immigrant song. That's
that just
that's a
makes my
great
inner
one.
Viking just want to go insane. For me, like I'll go a different genre. Like I was telling you, "Till I Collapse" by Eminem and Nate Dogg.
Oh, that's so good.
Like these are all songs like when I'd go put before I go play a sport or something, you just start playing them as loud as you can. Fort Minor, Remember My Name is another
Yeah.
great one. Oh, there's so many good
Like
ones.
you were talking about, are the scenes in movies and TV shows about high school football, does that actually happen? Like I always picture that song that like you see those people like in the locker room, they're just like they got their headphones on, they're just
Mhm.
going, they're bobbing their head, and they're just slowly like working it up, getting going, and like their head like slowly comes up, and they're like they got this like look in their eye, the LeBron,
The Eye of the Tiger
the eye of the tiger, and
song.
song. A couple that I thought of, I don't know why, but like the bass riff in another one, Bites the Dust, like it just like
Dun, 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 dun.
it's just, but like when you listen to I've actually listened to the instrumental, it doesn't do the same without the lyrics. Like there's some songs you can listen to an instrumental and you feel it. There's a lot.
Well, they have
rap
one of
songs
the
like
greatest
that.
local vocalists ever. So
But
yeah. that works.
So that one, and then for me, it was always the first song on my playlist in high school for sports. "We Ready" by Archie Eversole. We ready.
that's a good one.
We ready. We, have
Mhm.
you ever seen the video of the high school team where like the players are on the floor waiting out I think it's a weather delay or something, and they're doing like getting the beat going, and they're singing it themselves. Have you ever seen that video?
Mhm.
Like that, even more so, like just
Dropkick Murphys.
Oof.
State of Massachusetts, any of them, you know them
Yeah.
all, dude. There's just some. I don't need their lyrics. That's
Yeah.
like I just get ready to fight people. I'm not even a violent person. I'm like, oh my god, let's go.
We could probably go a
Oh,
while. on this,
I
but-
love music. I can do this all day.
Oh yes, we need to talk a little bit. I think we need to talk more music on here. We talk a lot of TV shows and movies and stuff. We need to talk a little bit more music because I'm really into so many different genres and so many different things in music. We could even do like best Christmas song, overrated Christmas songs, because we are getting the Christmas season. And
Oh, yeah.
yes,
Don't play that yet, Jay. After the show, I sent you guys a reel to watch. You'll
Don't
love
worry.
it.
Am I gonna
Okay.
go driving home at like 80 after I watch this?
let's
There's some songs you shouldn't listen to when I'm
Yeah, maybe-
driving. 'cause
Probably
Kevin
not.
Seuss.
Probably not. But I think you'll find
yeah,
it
it's
pretty
probably
funny.
not something you do before driving or before you go to bed.
So
So that is going to wrap it up for this edition of The Voice of the Land. And yes, we are transitioning to the holiday season. We had Thanksgiving. It is okay now I'm not going to get into the rant. We're going to go way too long if I do it. But if you're getting all of your Christmas movies and stuff up in your house, it is more than okay now. The outside lights when you're in Northeast Ohio, you have to do when you have a good weekend.
when it's warm.
Yeah, you have to do that. Don't turn them on until after Thanksgiving. That's all I ask. But
It's after. We're
I'm
allowed.
sure a lot of our fun segments are going to be holiday themed coming up as
Probably.
we go into the final 6 games of the Browns season. Cavs transition to the already 3rd month of play of the NBA season with many more to go. And we'll see what happens with the college football playoff. Whatever happens, we'll react to it all. We'll catch up on the week of news right here on The Voice of the Land. I'm Kevin Arnold for Always Positive Jay and Peter Tellep, wishing him all the best as he recovers from his minor back surgery
Rub
today.
some dirt on it.
Oh boy, you just had to go there. Don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. We do truly love all of you. 3,000.
Don't talk about it. Be about it.
And live life, all gas, no brakes. Metaphorically, not literally, especially if we watch this video that Peter just sent us. This is The Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network.